Hey there, my name is Chris and I run the site nichesitetools.com that you see on your screen. And what I do at that site is help folks to create online businesses with their niche websites. So whether that's promoting products through the Amazon affiliate program, maybe you promote affiliate products from other folks and get a commission from that. Maybe you plan to have your own product at some point in the future and you're just creating a blog right now and you're looking for ways to monetize your blog to bring in additional income. Whatever the case may be, I'm here to help and get you where you want to be. So hopefully that sounds great to you. What we're going to do today is I got an email question from a subscriber, Stan, and he wanted to know my exact process for keyword research. So what I would encourage you to do first, if you want to get a keyword brainstorming guide absolutely free from me, you can sign up at my email list at nichesitetools.com/subscribe, or you can just click in the sidebar here or at the top of the site, put in your email address. It's a spam-free zone. Everything will remain 100% private, and you will instantly get my free keyword brainstorming guide, and that'll be kind of helpful for what we're going to do today as far as coming up with ideas for websites. So if you're drawing a complete blank, that's going to be a great way to get some ideas. And what I did prior to this recording is I jotted down things around the house. So I basically literally walked around the house and wrote down items of interest to me and things that I just have lying around the house that may be good for particular product related websites. And today what we're going to do, we're not only going to talk about like product related websites like an Amazon affiliate site, or maybe you're promoting products from other folks and they have an affiliate program and you get a commission anytime you sell that product, whether it be information products or physical products, whatever the case may be. We're going to talk about those two different types of sites as far as bringing in additional income. And we're also going to talk about authority style websites. So I got a suggestion on our private Facebook mastermind group, which if you're interested in checking out, you go to nichesitetools.com/mastermind. It's a completely private Facebook group, and we talk about niche site ideas. There's a lot of questions and answers going on and different suggestions. People ask for feedback. It's a really great way to reach out and network with other folks that are also looking to have a successful online business. So the question that I got was from Stan, again from email, and he wanted to know my exact keyword research process and he wanted to see it in action. So that's what we're going to do today. And we're also going to touch base on talk about authority style websites as well. So we got the suggestion from Gerhardt to do research on canoeing and kayaking, and I also threw backpacking in there as well. So those are some other things we'll look at as far as doing research for an entire website. And also I'm going to tell you how to do research for a particular blog post. So we're going to touch on Amazon or product related websites, authority style websites, and keyword research for blog posts as well. So hopefully that appeals to you, and it's going to be live. I have not done any prior research in my favorite tool, which is Longtail Pro. So all this is going to be completely brand new, completely live. So we'll see what unfolds as we go through it. And let's start on here. So if you would like to follow along, you can go to nichesitetools.com/longtailpro, and you can sign up for a free 10-day trial of the keyword research tool that I utilize. I highly recommend you do that so that when you see it on the screen here, and then you can follow along and you can also try it yourself. So that's always the best way to learn, is to see something, figure it out in your mind first and then jump right in there and do it yourself. So that's what we're going to do here today. So let me click over to Longtail Pro. So again, what I did before recording this was to walk around the condo and see what types of items might lend themselves to product related things. So I got a list here. So let me show you. So household items that I found around the house: a Magic Bullet smoothie blender, Shark vacuum, Hoover carpet steamer. We have several cats, so we vacuum and steam the carpets pretty often. So those were some items that I just happened to see. We have a KitchenAid mixer, one of those bread mixers you can make bread with or whatever you want to do as far as baking goes. I have some wireless headphones that I use with the TV. And since we have several cats, we have cat condos, or they're called cat trees as well. So those are some of the big items that I saw just walking around the house to try to get some ideas. And then what I did The only research I did, which took me about 5 minutes, was to plug in some of these items like Magic Bullet Smoothie Blender, KitchenAid Mixer, and things like that. And these are some of the items that appeared or that came to mind. So I typed them into Google. Let's click over to Google real quick. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let's just say let's just type in blenders. So what I saw here initially is Vitamix. So you can see here, I wrote down Vitamix, NutriBullet, things that popped up here in the sidebar. So I saw Vitamix there, and I saw I clicked on the shop for blenders. You can see these are really high priced items here. So the Vitamix was one. Blendtec is one that I could write down here. So these are a little bit different than what I saw when I did the quick research previously. So Breville, these are exact model numbers, so that's great if you're going to do an Amazon style site. So all these are really high priced, and, well, not all of them, but there are a lot of highly priced items here. So what I did was jot down a couple of these here, put them in the list here, and that's what we have here as far as potential items to target for an Amazon style site. And then again, I was going to talk about an authority site, canoeing and kayaking, threw in backpacking there, and a blog post example with the topic of meditation. So let's jump right in and let's switch over to Longtail Pro now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in, let's just try Shark Vacuum. And let's just see what comes up here. So I just have all the defaults selected. I didn't change anything as far as the Longtail Pro settings. And again, I do have the Platinum version, which is an additional monthly fee. If you do go over to nichesitetools.com/Longtail Pro, you can get $30 off Longtail Pro itself. So normally it's $97. You can get it through my link at a discount of $67. And if you're interested in the keyword competitiveness module, which is a Platinum feature, that's an additional $17 a month. And it's not required, but I'll show you why it's really valuable. So here's what we have here. So I just did Shark Vacuum, and here's what we got. So these are some great money keywords, and it's not necessarily sorted by local searches. So first I'm going to sort them by local searches. Most of them, the highest number at the top. So you can see just by typing in Shark Vacuum, I get Dyson, Dyson Vacuum, Kirby Vacuum. So there's a lot of related terms, which will give you a great set of additional keywords to target, not only for your posts, but for your site as well. So these are additional terms to research. So let's say, since I have a Shark Vacuum, maybe I'm really passionate about vacuums, and that might be something I want to create an authority site around. So if I were to do that, I can see that all of these different product name keywords would be potentially keyword phrases to target. And what I kind of look at as far as a niche site overall, so if I'm going to do a niche site, let's say an Amazon style site promoting multiple products from Amazon, I'm looking, number one, that the product itself is going to have a lot of reviews, it's a popular product, and not only that, but that it's an expensive product. So you want to target products that are over $100. Typically, if I'm going to create a site around that, that's what I want to do, because the commission you get is usually around 3 to 4% initially. So you want to make sure you're going to get enough in affiliate commissions that it's going to be worth your while to create the site. So when I'm looking at the numbers here, these numbers are really high, and most likely they're going to be really competitive. So let's go ahead and just click on, like they have, let's go here. So if I click over to campaign settings, if I click over to Shark Vacuum itself, that's the main phrase that I typed in. I know that's probably going to be really high as far as keyword competitiveness goes. So I'm clicking over the keyword competitiveness module. And what we're looking for here is to see what the keyword competitiveness numbers are for the sites that are listed here, and what the sites are as well. So as expected, you can see that the keyword competitiveness number, which is a feature of Longtail Pro Platinum, is 38. And typically what you're going to want to look for as far as whether you can compete to get to the first page of Google, because that's what we're looking at here, the first 10 items, which is the first page of Google for this phrase, this is above 30, so we don't want to see that. Anytime this is above 30, I'm going to steer clear of it. So I'm just basically, just by eyeballing that, I can tell I'm not going to try to compete. The only thing on this page that is below 30 is this, but it's Bed Bath & Beyond, so I know I'm not going to be able to compete. Just me being a small guy out there, I'm not going to be able to compete with Bed Bath & Beyond. So that's definitely not a good phrase to target. Shark Vacuum by itself as your main phrase to target. However, what we're going to do is, what I'll typically do is go into the several thousand range. So best handheld vacuum, I'm probably going to assume most of these are, since they're buyer-related keywords, so people, if they're looking for the best handheld vacuum, they're probably looking to purchase a vacuum. So again, that's 33. I can see that right off the bat. That's why I love the keyword competitiveness module of Longtail Platinum. Right there, I don't even have to click over to the keyword competitiveness module. I can see right here that's probably going to be too high. So I'm going to continue scrolling down here. So Dyson vacuum reviews, I'm sure that's going to be really high as well. Let's just click this here, best upright vacuum, Dyson handheld. So let's just let it calculate those numbers for us. And as we get, usually as you get down the local monthly searches, it's going to give you some more phrases that you can potentially compete with, but that still have decent traffic. So as expected, these particular phrases here are all above 30 still, so we're still not in the range that we would be looking for. So how about Shark Rotator Professional? I'm not sure what this particular brand is, but still, we're still too high here. So the Shark Vacuum, vacuum cleaner bag, Shark Navigator vacuum. So we're getting a little bit more specific. Whoops, clicked on the wrong one. Vacuum cleaner bags, so Shark vacuum cleaners, let's see, Shark Navigator vacuum, we're getting a little more specific now. Shark Rotator lift away reviews, so the longer tail, the longer the phrase is, so it's called a long tail phrase, probably the lower the competition. This still may be high, but we'll find out live here. So still, these are still too high to target for a site overall, or for me if I'm going to target a particular keyword phrase. These are still too high, so let's keep going down. Shark Lift Away Pro, so far we are still too high. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on a couple of these until we can find some. So I'll be right back. I'm just going to pause this and I'll find some for our purposes here. All right, and we're back. And what you can see here is there are a lot of them that are above 30. And there are a couple of them in the 20 range, so that's what I'm going to focus on real quick here. So just eyeballing this here, what we're going to want to look for, what I look for as far as if you're going to create an entire site around a couple of different products. So if we were going to target vacuums in general, I would want to have multiple different kinds. So this right here, we were focused specifically on Shark for the most part. So what I'm looking at here is best hardwood floor vacuum. That has the most traffic in the 20 range. So what I want to do is I'm going to click over. So right here I can see 27. We should be able to compete for a page or a spot on the first page of Google. So if you click on the actual phrase, that's going to take us over to the competitiveness module here. And what we see here is all the items on the first page of Google for best hardwood floor vacuum, which sounds like a great keyword to target because somebody looking for the best hardwood floor vacuum is probably wanting to make a purchase. So let's take a look and just eyeball really quick. What we're looking at is that keyword competitiveness number from Longtail Pro Platinum. And I can see right here, the first spot of Google, we could probably compete for pretty easily. And it does have hardwood floor vacuum cleaner reviews in the URL for the site, so they get some SEO from that. But this is 20, so that's really good. I could see I wouldn't compete with this one. This is Amazon, so that's going to be a little bit higher here. Although you could compete with Amazon, that's not a problem in general. But Walmart, Good Housekeeping, Armstrong Flooring, so those ones you can tell, and this one here also has 41. So what I would be looking to compete for would definitely be that first spot there because it has so few backlinks to the site here, which shows page links, and this is juiced backlinks here. And what that means is those are backlinks that this person got from higher authority websites that have a lot of trust. Is only 2. That is so low. So I would actually try to compete for the first page or the first spot on Google for best hardwood floor vacuums, and I would also target this one here, which has 18, this one here that has 8.6, and maybe these 2 here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential spots that you could compete with. And based on backlinks here, they're very low here. They're a little bit higher for this one, but they're only 10 here, 38 here, 145 here. So they're pretty low. But really, I would go for that first spot here. And that is keyword competitiveness number of 20 here. So I think you could easily compete with best hardwood floor vacuum. And that's not something I would target as my 100% total site. But if my site was all about vacuums, I would definitely target as a section of my site best hardwood floor vacuums. And you can do reviews based on Sharks, based on Hoover, based on Dyson, a lot of different comparison type of posts. So at let's go back to keyword research here, at 1,900 local monthly searches per month, that's pretty decent, and that's a good place to start. So if I was, basically I just started with Shark vacuum as my phrase, and I found that best hardwood floor vacuum is something that we can compete with, and probably good, decent money keyword. So that's something you could run with if you're interested in. Maybe you have a site about kitchen products or household products right now. Adding in hardwood floor vacuums is definitely something folks are searching on, is interesting to them, and most likely you could target that and make some money off of posting different hardwood floor vacuums. And the particular Shark that I have, the Shark Navigator, actually works pretty good on hard surface floors. We don't have hardwood floors, but we have tile, so I know that is one vacuum that would do pretty well with that. So that's something you could run with, and that just shows you how to do some keyword research as far as a particular product goes. But let's type in another one. So let's go, something else that I found when I was walking around the house is wireless headphones. And that's something I utilize after my wife goes to sleep. If I'm watching TV in bed, I have wireless headphones that I utilize every night most often. And sometimes if we're watching a decent movie, that has a special effects and things like that, living in a condo with shared walls and whatnot, we don't want to blast out our neighbors. So this is something we utilize an awful lot. So let's type in, which I already did, wireless headphones, and then I'm going to go to the top of the list here based on most searches, and then we're just going to, usually I'll just avoid, like for example, if you click on Beats here, obviously I think it's going to be really high competition, so it's not something we're going to target. So I always go down into the more 3,000 range and kind of eyeball things and start from there and look for phrases that I like. So yeah, you can clearly see that's way above 30. Nothing I would ever target as far as one-word phrases anyway. It's really hard to compete with. So let's scroll down into the more normal range, which I'll start to eyeball them at around the 5,400 mark. So wireless headphones for running sounds interesting. It's not what I use them for, but it sounds like somebody would be interested in that. So the ones I have are not Bluetooth, but LG wireless headphones, Samsung Bluetooth headsets. I'm going to go through and do the same thing. So I'm going to grab a bunch of these here and then see what we get. I'll be right back. Alright, you can see what we have here, and the lowest competition is multiple wireless headphones, and I think I know what they're talking about here. The ones that we have, you can actually utilize if you get different headphones, so you could buy the Sennheiser headphones that we have, you can buy multiple sets of the headphones and use them with the same headset, and use them with the same bass, I mean. So we can both have the same headphones using one bass, and we could all be tuning into the same broadcast. So that's probably what they're talking about there. But looking 2828 here, so Cool headphones is actually really good traffic and looks relatively easy to compete with 28 here. Best wireless headphones for running, best wireless headphones for Xbox 360, headphones for TV. Let's try that. It says 30 here, but let's take a look and see what the competition looks like. So yeah, we got Amazon, Walmart, Sennheiser, Best Buy. So these all look, well, this one has page links here, a lot of page links, but few juice page links. CNET, PC Mag, yes. So these are pretty. This would be pretty tough to compete with. So let's go back to 28 here. Cool headphones. So we got PC Mag, some here, Forbes. So right here, this one jumps out to me. It just looks like a regular website. It's an 8 for keyword competitiveness numbers, no page links, no juice page links. So we could definitely compete with cool headphones. So Dog Funk, here's another one, keyword competitiveness number of 9. So that's a phrase that I would never have thought about. Really cool headphones, not something that would have jumped to the forefront of my mind. So that just goes to show you that not only can you get other ideas for keyword phrases to target, but I can clearly see that we can compete with spot number 6 and spot number 9 on the first page of Google. We could probably compete with this one here as well, number 7, and possibly this one here at number 4. I think it would be kind of tough to compete with PC Mag, BH Photo Video. I know that's a popular site for cameras and things like that, and probably headphones too. And Forbes. So right here is probably the first one, number 4, definitely number 6, and number 9. So you could definitely compete with that. I would target that if you're really interested in headphones and things like that. Cool headphones looks like a great phrase to target. So that just goes to show you really quick 2 different product related searches. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go over to the, I'm going to type in, I'm going to do another thing here. I'm going to go do one more and we're going to target blenders. So let's do that. So let's have it do its keyword search here, and it's going to give us a bunch of ideas. And like I mentioned before, we had target, if you look at the list here, what I saw when I just typed those blenders names into Google, I got NutriBullet, Vitamix. These are all different types of blenders. If you were going to do a household related website or blender specific website, these look like some really good terms to target. So let's see if we get some of those here in the output. So let's just sort these here, go back up to the top. So I typed in blenders, but not only did you get those ideas, but that's, you can see some other items on the list here. We have a KitchenAid mixer. So you could see KitchenAid came up here, KitchenAid mixer. So that's something that I had around the house. So immersion blenders. These all look like some great phrases, but I'm sure the competition is going to be really high for those. 110,000 local monthly searches. That's a huge amount of traffic, so those are probably going to be really high. So that's what we would expect to see. But best blenders for smoothies, now we're probably still pretty high. But Hamilton Beach blender, I think those are lower price blenders, so you probably wouldn't want to target that. But let's just get some keyword competitiveness numbers here. I'm going to do the same thing, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I clicked that keyword competitiveness for a bunch of different topics here, and you can see starting from the lowest here, what we see here is there's a Waring Pro blender. That's hard to say. Waring commercial blender, a blender food processor combo. That sounds cool. Something I'm not familiar with. So it looks like those 3 right there total probably, let's say 1,700 and 600. So about 2,300 total local monthly searches. So that's actually pretty decent. So let's click over to food processor blender combo. So we got Walmart, Amazon. Let's see. So this one here, blenderjudge.com. So it sounds like a site that reviews blenders. So he's probably got a similar idea to what we would have if we were going to create a site. So it looks like based on competitiveness numbers and low backlinks, we could compete with that. Looks like weloveblenders.com is probably another similar site. So let's actually go to weloveblenders.com. And yep, that's a site. Let me get this into the window here so you can see it. That looks exactly like what we would expect to see. So this is a review site. This is probably an exact type of site that you would want to target, and a site that you could create. So it looks like it has a great theme, an Amazon style theme. and it's done by My Theme Shop. I think I know what theme this is. Let me look it up really quick. Yeah, I think this is the Splash theme by My Theme Shop. And it's very focused, allows you to create Amazon style themes. You can do product comparisons, and you can do you can target different items here. It has the rating system here. So if you are interested, you can learn more about these products. It takes you right over to Amazon, and these are $300 blenders right here. So this is a great example of an actual site that you could create and try to replicate and try to compete with. So what you would be looking at is, this is a great site. They have immersion blenders, different countertop blenders, juicers. This is a perfect example of an Amazon affiliate site that you would want to be competing with. And if you think you can do a similar or better job, this would be exactly how you'd want to create that site. So this is a great example of how they could target blenders, countertop blenders, immersions blenders, and juicers. And most likely these are all going to be great reviews. They probably pull products, reviews from Amazon, and give you some background here, and then list different products. And I'm going to guess these are probably really highly priced products. Yep. So $200 for that one. We have a mineral juicer. That one's lower, but they're presenting a lot of different options here for someone that might be interested in juicing products. So got an electric juicer here. So $99, not too high. Surprisingly, you do have some under $50, but I think some of these Vitamix ones here and Ninja ones are definitely higher priced from what I understand. It tells you all about it. So this is an example of a great Amazon style site that promotes multiple different products on the same site, but they're going to be getting a lot of longer tail phrases. So they're going to get phrases from Magic Bullet, NutriBullet blender review, Oster Versa blender review. So they're going to get long tail phrases coming in for all of these different keyword phrases and all of these different product names. So I bet you this site does probably pretty well. So that is a site that has very few juice page links, and the site age, I think that's there. Yep. So this site is pretty much brand new, has 0 for site age. So this is a site that you would be able to create yourself, and you'd be able to compete with that one on. But there's that option on that main page there, and this one also sticks out here. So you could compete for the first page of Google for those phrases, so that's definitely something you could target. And let's look at Waring Commercial Blender here as well. Look, and so I clicked it over for Waring Commercial Blenders, and I'm sure this is a particular brand, since most of the products on the main page here are the actual company website. It looks like you could compete for a spot here, a couple here. So these here have very well, except for this one that has a lot of backlinks to it, everythingkitchens.com. Looks like you could compete for a spot on the first page of Google with these particular sites here. They have low keyword competitiveness numbers here. And let's click over to the one that's on Amazon here and just see how much that product actually is. Okay, $348, so that's great. So that looks like something you could compete with there. So if you're going to target blenders, I would definitely make sure that's one in there. It has a decent amount of search terms. If we go back to the keyword competitiveness, so there's about 720, and Waring Pro Blender has 1,029. Let's see what the competitiveness looks like there. Just eyeballing based on numbers here, looks like you compete with this spot here and maybe this spot, but it looks like that's the company website, so that might not work too well. So this one looks a little bit tougher. You could potentially compete for this spot here, and probably not Macy's. So this looks a little bit more difficult since it's approaching almost 30, but it gives you some ideas on what we could target, how you go down one path that might lead you to another one. So we could have targeted cool headphones. We could have targeted for this particular one. We could have targeted for, this was a blender campaign. We could have targeted blender food processor combo, Waring commercial blender, and a couple of these other ones are still relatively lower, but they're in the 30 range, so I probably wouldn't. Let's look for margarita blender. Yeah, these are probably pretty high. You could maybe compete with this one, margarita overload, or blog experts. This is a question and answer forum, I think. Potentially could compete with those ones, but not probably these other ones. So that would be something difficult to hit. But so that showed you 3 different types of products. One was the Shark vacuums and vacuums in general. One was wireless headphones, and the other was blenders / mixers. And you can see the process that I would normally go through and what I would target. And just in general, what I'm looking for as far as a number of different phrases is I'm looking for them to total over 3,000 local monthly searches if you're going to create a whole website around it. So I'd be looking for maybe 5 to 6 different phrases that in total they have over 3,000 local monthly searches. Typically for cost per click, I'm looking for anything over 80 cents in general for each individual phrase. That tells you that people are paying for ads for those phrases, so they're money keywords so that eventually you can monetize things. So 3,000 total monthly searches for a site overall in a number of different phrases, and over 80 cents in cost per click on average. So if it's a little bit lower, if you have one phrase that's maybe, $1.84, one's 88 cents, I wouldn't mind throwing in a couple that are lower. So it's just on average, on aggregate, kind of what I'm looking for. And now we'll switch over to the authority type of site and canoeing and kayaking in general. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to type canoeing and kayaking. Add those and have it generate some keywords. So this again came from Gerhardt's suggestion on our private Facebook mastermind group, which is at nichesitetools.com/mastermind. And everything that we post in there is private. Only folks in the group can see it. So it's a great way to network with the folks and get some ideas for your own niche website. So let's sort these here by most monthly searches at the top. So we can see that canoe and misspelled Kyak, or maybe that's a specific website, I'm not sure. But kayaks for sale, we have the most here. So kayak fishing, let's do that. So let's click that. Old Town Canoe, canoes for sale. Perception kayaks. I don't know anything at all about kayaking or canoeing myself, so this is all going to be new to me. So let's just assume that I wanted to create a site about canoeing or kayaking, but I know little about it, and that's exactly the situation I'm in. So I'm just going to start clicking on a couple of these here, and again, I'll be right back. Alright, and I clicked on a bunch of them, and this one looks a lot better actually. This is some great numbers, and if you are interested in kayaking or canoeing, this looks like it would be a great niche just based specifically on eyeballing these keyword competitiveness numbers. And it's, jumps out to me that based on our previous searches, this one is just, the numbers look fantastic. What I'm looking at here is the keyword competitiveness numbers start at 20, and they have almost a full page of keyword competitiveness site or actual phrases here that are all in the 20s. So that's great. If I keep going here, it's only till I scroll past the first page that I'm getting into the 30s. So let's go back here to the lowest first. And what we can see here is that local monthly searches is like 200, 500, 1,000, 1,600 here, 1,300 here, but we're still in the mid-20s as far as competitiveness goes. And you can see over here the average cost per click is like $1 here, $1 here. Some of these are below what I would normally target, so 47 cents, 68 cents, but based on the traffic here and that there's other phrases that are around slightly higher, on average this would be probably over 80 cents if we were to total a bunch of these up. So these are some really great numbers actually. And based specifically on this keyword competitive number, just eyeballing this, I would have no hesitation if I was interested in kayaking and canoeing. I would have no problems creating a niche site around that based specifically on this page here. All these results, these total well over 5,000, probably more in the 10,000 range based on these phrases. So fishing, kayak reviews. I'm not sure I would target cheap kayaks for sale. That's actually why this is probably lower cost per click, because it says cheap kayaks for sale. So I probably wouldn't actually target that phrase. Kayaks for beginners, kayak or canoe, best fishing kayak, sea kayaks for sale, lightweight canoes, kayaks for fishing. All these phrases sound great, and the keyword competitiveness numbers are low. So let's do fishing kayak reviews and take a look and see what we see. So we can see right off the bat these numbers. There's a couple that I would not target. So this one here, Best Kayak Fishing Hub, looks like it's pretty decent. It has a lot of juice page links, but you can tell just looking at this, juice page links, so these sites here don't have a lot of backlinks from higher authority websites. So I wouldn't target this one and I wouldn't target this one, and that you could see that the keyword competitive numbers tell you not to target those. So we can just eyeball right off the bat, but that's mostly because they have more juice page links here. But all the rest of these on this site I would have no problem trying to compete with. Outdoor Life, this might be a little bit tough because it sounds like a magazine or something that probably has a lot of folks on the site. But fishing kayak reviews is a phrase I would target, and I think you could easily compete and get on the first page of Google with. So it looks like those keyword competitive numbers match up, and just eyeballing the competitors on the first page of Google, it seems you could easily compete for a spot on all of these different phrases here that we're clicking on. So sea kayaks, let's look like lightweight canoes. So I would think you could target this page here, this one here. There's a couple higher ones, so this would be kind of tough to compete with, especially with juice page links here, but definitely the number 2 spot. The number, that's REI, so probably not. But let's see here, juice page links is 4. You could definitely compete with this one here. This is just an eBay post here. It might be a little more difficult, but definitely a couple easy spots you could target. So canoeing and kayaking, that was a great suggestion, Gerhardt, and if that's something you're interested in, I would run with that, especially if you have an interest in fishing as well. Looks like there's a lot of phrases that have a really good, 1600 for one keyword phrase is really great. Kayak fishing accessories, there's probably, I would imagine there's some expensive accessories, and you could compete with a couple of these here. Definitely this spot, or Cabela's, actually, that might be tough. But let's see here. This has a lot of backlinks here, so it may be difficult to compete on some of these phrases, but lightweight canoes, I think we already looked at. Nope. Yeah, so it looks like there's a lot of great phrases that you could compete with. Kevlar canoes, that's interesting to me. Isn't Kevlar what they use in bulletproof vests? So those are probably pretty puncture proof. So I guess if you're using them in a river or someplace with rocks, that would probably be good to have a Kevlar canoe. But I can definitely see some. I think we can compete here. We could compete here. We can compete here. So there's a lot of these that, based on the keyword competitiveness numbers, they really look good. So that's another thing. Basically, for the first example, I was targeting product-specific websites. So if you're going to create an Amazon-style site or a site that's focused around promoting specific products, it's kind of the same thing I'm looking for an authority website. So I'm looking for at about 3,000 total monthly searches. Looks like this one is way more. So there's probably 10,000 local monthly searches for these phrases here that we could target that all have keyword competitiveness numbers under 30. And for the most part, the cost per click is over 80 cents, so I probably wouldn't target again that one that was cheap kayaks for sale. Maybe not Canoe Outrigger because that's lower, but overall in aggregate, these on average would be around, looks like $1 cost per click. Great search terms and easy to compete with. So this would be a great product to target for a niche site. So canoeing, kayaking, and I didn't even need to throw in backpacking. So just canoeing and kayaking, it definitely looks like a home run. You could definitely get some decent keyword numbers here. And let's see, kayaks for fishing. Let's just click on one of these here and see how much they are, like Bass Pro Shop. So let's see how much. So perfect. Look how expensive they are. So $749. If you could link to these on Amazon, I think that would be great. You could get a decent commission, and maybe Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's or one of these sites has their own affiliate program you could search for, and maybe you could get more money than Amazon. But Amazon always has the trust factor. Lots of folks like to have Amazon Prime, and they do a lot of their ordering. But in case of kayaks, maybe people are more likely to go to something like a Bass Pro Shop online. So definitely I would encourage you to check out the affiliate programs through these sites. If you don't see anything there, you can always just use the Amazon affiliate program. So that looks like a great product authority type site, Canoeing and Kayaking. So one last thing that we're going to do is for a specific blog post, and those keyword basically would be the same type of product search that we're going to do, but I'm going to do meditation as an example. Last week's post we were talking about Lori's Life Little Lessons website, and she is a subscriber on the site, and she wanted to know how to get traffic to her site. So what we're going to do is I'm going to type in meditation and hit enter here. And we're going to find on, let's say Lori wanted to do a post on meditation, but she didn't know what to write about or what keyword phrases to target. So we would just type in meditation here, and this is an example of what you would do for a blog post specific keyword research. So in this case, we don't need a lot of local monthly searches, since we could target a couple of different phrases, and this is just one particular post. So we're not making a whole site about meditation, although you probably could. But what we're going to do is just try to find some phrases to target for one particular blog post. So how about learning to meditate? Looks decent. Guided meditation. Let's just target a couple here, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here's what we have on the screen. We have a bunch of them in the sub 30 range, so let's see what we got here. So we got meditation teacher certification. That may or may not apply, so if you knew some people that really wanted to teach meditation, that looks like it's a pretty high cost per click, so you could point people to a certification program for meditation. Looks like meditation clothing, probably somebody would be interested in buying something. We have biofeedback meditation, spiritual meditation, meditation DVDs, meditation resorts, best meditation books, short meditations, forms of meditation, and guided Buddhist meditation. Guided Buddhist meditation. So as you can see, these all add up to a pretty decent amount. Just from one post, if you were to target maybe 3 or 4 of these different phrases in there, you could get some decent amount of traffic, and you could also list, best meditation books in your post, so you could get money from Amazon DVDs, different books, and they probably wouldn't add up to a whole lot, but if you were to put meditation clothing in there, all that stuff might add up, and you can also get additional affiliate commissions from other things that they purchased on Amazon. So maybe they're going to buy some clothing, they're going to buy a DVD, they're going to buy a book, maybe they're going to buy, who knows, maybe a KitchenAid mixer from our last example. So you never know what people could buy, and that's one of the benefits of the Amazon affiliate program. But you could also link to potentially meditation teacher certifications. Maybe they have affiliate program where you get a kickback, or not a kickback, but some sort of affiliate commission. Let's say to become certified in meditation, it costs $500. Maybe you get 10% of that, so maybe you get $50. Or maybe you could find affiliate products on ClickBank that are in regards to meditation, and maybe you get a 50% commission for a $60 meditation product. All sorts of different things you could search on just for a particular post on your site, or maybe you have a section on meditation. There's a lot of different keyword phrases you could target that you could easily compete with. And, it's really quick and easy to do. So I clicked on, I paused as I was getting the numbers here because I clicked on, let's say, like maybe 20 different ones. It takes maybe a minute or so or less, maybe 30 seconds to get that keyword competitiveness number. So that's the only amount of time it takes. You could see all of this was relatively, right off the cuff. I was doing this live for you guys, and the only time I paused it was to get a lot of different keyword competitiveness numbers at once. The product itself is super fast. I used to use Market Samurai, but because it always took so long to get the numbers and you had to do a little bit more forensics, you didn't have this one keyword competitiveness number that just quickly eyeballing, you can tell when you can compete with that. So this is really great, not only I think it's great for beginners because you want to take the guesswork out of this. So right here, this one number from Longtail Pro Platinum tells you if it's under 30, and the lower it is, the better. So right here, looking at the list here, the lowest number with the highest number of searches in this list on my screen here is 19 for this and 480. So meditation clothing, I would definitely include that there. It's going to be the lowest competition, but the most searches based on what we have here on our screen. So it's really quick and easy to eyeball these. And the more that you do this research, it becomes second nature, just like anything. And I've found that it is so much easier to utilize Longtail Pro Platinum than it is Market Samurai that I'm using this a lot more. And I do use it for individual posts. I use it when I'm researching niche websites to create overall. And I utilize when I'm looking for particular products to target. So if I'm looking for ideas like we did before, I'll type in maybe vacuums in general. It would have given me Shark vacuums, Hoover vacuums, Kirby vacuums, all different brand names that I might not have thought of, different phrases that I definitely wouldn't have thought of if I was into meditation. Maybe I would know about Guidist Buddhist meditation, but as a beginner to meditation myself, it's something I've done very little, but I know a little bit about it. But I wouldn't have known about necessarily spiritual healing meditation as something to target. Meditation power, spiritual meditation, biofeedback meditation. So not only does the tool give you ideas that you wouldn't have thought about, but it has all that competitiveness, keyword competitiveness numbers built in right there. And you can click on to see the competition so you could kind of eyeball them, see which ones you would target. Like on this page, I would probably target the number 2 option, the number 3 option, the number 7 option, and the number 8 option, just looking specifically at these keyword competitiveness numbers here. I definitely wouldn't target this one because the backlinks on here are 5,257. It's really high. This one has a lot of juice page links, but overall, all the rest of these options have no juice page links and smaller number of actual backlinks to the site. So the more that you do it, the easier it is, and the more that you'll see that you can easily target these phrases. And again, right there is exactly what I would have done if I was targeting some different phrases or different topics for niche sites. So hopefully that was really helpful to you, specifically Stan. Hopefully that answered all your questions, and hopefully anyone out there that is looking for a keyword research tool, you can see how Longtail Pro simplifies that process for you. And based on the examples that we ran through here, you could have 4 or 5 different niche sites up and running. And the keyword research competition that we did and the competition analysis took less than 5 or 10 minutes per niche site. So overall, I'm doing a lot of talking, a lot of explaining here, but if I were to do this myself, it would have taken me 5 minutes to tell me whether or not maybe canoeing and kayaking is a good idea for a site, maybe vacuums or mixers or wireless headphones or blenders, or different ideas for posts as far as meditation goes. So we did a lot of different things in this episode here, or in this video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the audio as well, and this is going to be an episode of the podcast. So you could listen, and it's probably going to make a lot more sense if you can see it on the screen, but I will save that off, upload it as a podcast episode as well for this week. So hopefully, if you are listening in, definitely check out the YouTube video, which I'll link to in this post as well. So hopefully it was really helpful for you guys on how the process of keyword research goes, and gives you some ideas on ways you can go about doing research and how you analyze the competition to determine if there's enough traffic, but it's something that you can compete with or not. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up for this week. Again, if you're interested in a discounted version of Longtail Pro, and if you're interested in Longtail Pro, certainly take advantage of that discount. Again, it is $67 for the product itself. You can go to nichesitetools.com/Longtail Pro. Thanks for checking out this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.